Hello Moto GP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. Jorge Lorenzo shares his perspectives on the recent MotoGP events in Portugal through his Duralavita program, highlighting the competitiveness of the championship, Pedro Acosta's rapid progression, Jorge Martín's victory, and Marc Marquez's challenges. Jack Miller provides insight into the incident between Marc Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia during the Portuguese MotoGP, expressing his concerns about their earlier battles and anticipating a potential collision. Marc Marquez reflects on his adaptation to the Ducati and the challenges he faces, contrasting it with Pedro Acosta's rapid progress in MotoGP. He attributes his errors in qualifying to his instinctual approach when pushing for the best lap time. Italy is abuzz with praise for Pedro Acosta, likening him to MotoGP legends Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez after his impressive podium finish at the Portuguese MotoGP. Acosta's fearless overtakes and confident demeanor have drawn comparisons to Rossi's early days in the sport. Click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Lorenzo commends Dorna for achieving remarkable parity among MotoGP bikes, creating an intensely competitive championship. He acknowledges Pedro Acosta's impressive debut and draws parallels between Acosta and other rookie sensations from the past, emphasizing the challenges ahead for the young rider in adjusting to MotoGP. Dorna has managed to match the bikes in an incredible way. I think Pedro is not ready yet. Lorenzo on MotoGP equality. Lorenzo discusses Jorge Martín's victory and his aspirations for the future, suggesting that Martín seeks recognition and values his input within the Ducati team. He evaluates Martín's potential success with Ducati and praises his evolution as a professional rider. Jorge wants to feel valued. Does Martín have a better chance of winning the World Cup dressed in red or purple? Lorenzo on Martín's ambitions. Lorenzo assesses Marc Marquez's performance and challenges in the 2024 season, acknowledging his talent but highlighting concerns about his recent crashes and their impact on his confidence. He emphasizes that Marquez faces formidable competition and predicts a challenging road ahead in the championship. I admire Marquez, but he is not going to win the World Championship easily. Lorenzo on Marquez's title bid. Jorge Lorenzo's insights from the Duralavita podcast offer valuable perspectives on the current MotoGP landscape, including the competitive balance among bikes, the rise of young talents like Pedro Acosta, the ambitions of riders like Jorge Martín, and the challenges faced by established champions like Marc Marquez. Miller recounts observing early contact between Marquez and Bagnaia during the race, particularly around Turn 5, where they engaged in intense exchanges multiple times. He expresses apprehension about the possibility of a serious collision. Coming out of Turn 5 they hit each other. I was just waiting for an absolute airplane crash in front of me. Miller on early contact. Miller emphasizes the difficulty of passing cleanly on the Portimao track and acknowledges the competitive nature of MotoGP racing. He notes the challenges of navigating tight spaces and the inevitability of incidents in intense battles. It's a hard place to pass. Unfortunate what happened, but that's racing. Miller on racing dynamics. Espargaro also shares his views, considering the incident a racing incident but suggesting that Bagnaia could have given more space to Marquez to avoid contact. For me it's a racing incident. Pecco could give a bit more space to Marc. Espargaro's perspective. Enea Bastianini, who witnessed the crash post-race, refrains from assigning blame, acknowledging the difficulty of overtaking and the potential for contact in competitive racing situations. I don't know what really happened. This kind of contact can happen. Bastianini's reaction. Jack Miller, Alex Espargaro, and Enea Bastianini offer insights into the incident between Marquez and Bagnaia, highlighting the competitive nature of MotoGP racing and the inevitability of contact in intense battles for position. Despite differing opinions on fault, They all recognize the inherent risks and challenges of racing at the highest level. Marquez acknowledges Pedro Acosta's swift adaptation to MotoGP, highlighting his podium finish in only his second race. In contrast, Marquez admits to facing difficulties at Gresini due to ingrained instincts and behaviors from his years with Honda. Pedro Acosta arrived in MotoGP and immediately showed competitiveness. At Gresini, Marc Marquez still has many instincts and automatic behaviors that are not ideal for Ducati. Marquez on adaptation times. Marquez explains that his mistakes primarily occur during qualifying sessions when pushing for the best lap time. He attributes these errors to his instinctual riding style, where certain automatic behaviors from his Honda days interfere with his performance on the Ducati. In Qatar I was controlling everything, but if you look, all the mistakes happened when pushing for the best lap time. When I go by instinct, there are still some automatic things that I forget. Marquez on errors in qualifying. Despite his challenges, Marquez expresses confidence in his ability to improve and adapt to the Ducati. He believes that with time, he will overcome his instinctual tendencies and perform better in qualifying sessions. But these things will come, because I always feel better and better. I always feel better and better. Marquez on progress. Marquez's struggles are evident in his qualifying results, where he has achieved his worst performances. However, he has shown resilience in sprint races and main races, consistently fighting for top positions despite setbacks. In fact, it has been in qualifying that Marquez has obtained his worst results, while in the main race in Qatar he was fourth. Marquez on performance. Marc Marquez's journey with Ducati has been challenging, marked by difficulties in adapting his riding style. However, he remains determined to overcome these obstacles and improve his performance in qualifying sessions. Despite setbacks, his competitive spirit and confidence in his abilities bode well for his future with the team. Veteran paddock manager Carlo Pernat draws parallels between Acosta, Rossi, and Marquez, emphasizing Acosta's remarkable talent and comparing his achievements to those of the MotoGP legends. He is predestined like Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez. In fact, he risked a lot. He'll have to calm down a bit. But when there are riders of a certain type in the World Championship, we just have to take our hats off. Pernat on Acosta. Guido Media, an esteemed Italian commentator and friend of Rossi, acknowledges Acosta's exceptional talent, placing him among the ranks of legendary riders like Rossi, Biaggi, Stoner, and Lorenzo. He is one of those talents that don't arise so often, like the various Rossi, Biaggi, Stoner, Lorenzo. As soon as he gains experience, he will be even stronger. Media on Acosta. Max Biaggi, Rossi's rival, expresses admiration for Acosta's rapid rise in MotoGP, highlighting his fearless approach and success despite his young age and the competitive field. It's nice that every now and then something new, so overbearing, appears. I must say that it is a certainty despite his young age. This we like it because it's nice to see him on a bike that is neither a Ducati nor a Japanese one, nor an Aprilia but a KTM. Biaggi on Acosta. Acosta's charismatic personality and fearless attitude have endeared him to MotoGP fans, reminiscent of Rossi's early days. His cheeky quotes and uncompromising overtakes have drawn comparisons to the legendary Italian rider. And for a Spanish rider to draw such comparisons from Italy, he must be doing something right. Acosta has also been compared to a young Marquez, and is certainly the most hyped rookie in the Premier class since Marquez. Reporter on Acosta. Pedro Acosta's remarkable talent and fearless demeanor have earned him praise from Italy, drawing comparisons to MotoGP legends Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez. With his impressive podium finish and charismatic personality, Acosta has captured the hearts of MotoGP fans worldwide, evoking memories of the legendary Rossi's early days in the sport. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you in the next video.